Uh, to begin with, how the limbus and stem cell they develop in intrauterine life and post-uterine life. It is very important and historical in development of the stem cell treatment. As we know, stem cells are naive cells and they are functionally undifferentiated. They can self-renew and differentiate into other cells types in the body. In time of active growth, they remain quiescent. But when there is any injury, these stem cells they can repair tissue and restore function. The limbal stem cell represent a quiescent cell population with a proliferative capacity. And these cells reside in basal epithelium of the limbus, known as cellular niche or limbal stem cell niche, which is also known as palisades of Vogt. There are certain interesting facts about limbal stem cells. These, the limbus has diverse developmental origin, and the origin remains enigmatic because of complexity and heterogeneity of the stem cell. The certain features make them unique because undifferentiated error-free proliferating cells, and these are present in all self-renewing tissues as quiescent cells. They are approximately 0.5 to 1% of total cell population with long lifespan. They have long cell cycle time also, and they have capacity to divide in symmetric or asymmetric manner. The important landmark in history related to limbal stem cell development was in 1971, Devenger and Evanson, they found limbus of the cornea is root of corneal epithelial proliferation and migration. In 1983, Schofield proposed niche hypothesis. In 1986, Shermas et al. Found the limbus of cornea was deficient in expression of RK3 corneal keratin. In 2005, Dua et al. Reported the presence of limbal epithelial crypts and proposed that they also harbor limbal stem cell based on the histological examination of human limbus. As we all know, the ocular surface consists of two different types of epithelial cells, conjunctival and corneal. And although anatomically continuous, these epithelia comprise two distinct cell populations. The corneal stem cell, they reside in the limbus. And the microenvironment of the limbus is very important in maintaining stemness of the limbal stem cell, which acts as barrier to the conjunctival epithelial cell, preventing the migration of the conjunctival epithelial cell onto the corneal surface. And that is how the cornea remains clear, and it is an important thing in the perceive of the clear visual acuity. So as we know, the limbus is 2 millimeter wide zone, and it harbors the niche of the corneal epithelial stem cell. And this niche is known as the palisade of Vogt. As we can see, these structure can be clearly visualized under slit lamp examination. And under higher magnification, when one can clearly see the undulated and structure of the limbus. In hematoxylin staining, the limbus can be seen as undulated folding structure with intervening stromal tissue embedded into the limbal epithelium. So So this is the picture showing the limbus epithelium and the palisade of Bode, the transitional zone between the conjunctival epithelium and the corneal epithelium. How there is proliferation of the limbal stem cell occur. It usually remain quiescent, but when there is any injury, the stem cell, they convert into transient amplifying cells known as TAC, which rapidly divides in basal cell layer. Also, the post-mitotic cell, after that, the post-mitotic cells develop into the wing cell layer of the epithelium, and at last, terminally differentiated cell occurs in the squamous layer of the. This whole cycle takes 7 to 10 days in the total duration. So this is a pictorial model showing the stem cell neck, and this shows the epithelium having various cell line into the development. So this is a schematic diagram showing limbus where there is stem cell developing into the Langerhans cells, then melanocyte cells, then there is mesenchymal cells, and these stem cell dividing into early transient differentiated cell, transient amplifying cells, then late transient amplifying cells, then later into the post-mitotic cells and terminally differentiated cell into the central cornea. So another important aspect is XYZ hypothesis, which is also known as centripetal migration theory, in which there is X factor leading to anterior migration of the cells, Y factor centripetal migration from the limbus, and Z factor leading to shedding of squamous epithelium cell from the surface of cornea into the tear film. So another model of the proliferation of stem cell is tectonic plate model, which is proposed by Dr. Maggio, and which according to which the stem cells are capable of corneal and conjunctival regeneration. They reside in the entire corneal epithelium. This is a picture showing centripetal growth of the corneal epithelial cell, and this is a tectonic model. Developmental origin of the limbal stem cell and their niche is diverse. The niche consists of various cell populations such as limbal stem fibroblast, melanocyte, immune cells, and these fibroblasts and melanocyte, they originate from the neural crest. And this is the picture of the limbus having multiple the vessels, undulating blood vessels. This is different from the cornea because of high vascularity known for providing nutrient to the developing cells. At 5th week intrauterine life, 2-cell layer thick develop from the surface ectoderm. So the actual limbal stem cells, they develop from the surface ectoderm, and some part of it develop from the neural crest. So basically there is a complex development, and the limbal stem cells, they develop from surface ectoderm and the periocular mesenchyme cells. This is a newer schematic diagram showing limbal stem cell.
Please conclude it so that we go with the next one.
Conclude limbal stem cell, they develop from surface ectoderm and the neural crest cells. Thank you.